Hey, welcome back. This month, I've got the latest real estate statistics for Volusia County, Florida, and many of its top cities. This is the place to be if you want to find out what's really happening in the local real estate market. Also, at the end, I'm going to go over some interest rate information so that you know whether or not now is a good time to buy or should you maybe stay on the sidelines. Hey, this is not going to be a 30-second dance move. Not from me, baby. Here we're going to take a deep dive and find out if the market is as hot as it's getting to be outdoors. Go ahead, grab a snack, grab your favorite energy drink. You're going to need it. We're going to be going over some statistics, my friend. Let's do it. Hi there. I'm Michael George with the George Home Team at LPT Realty, and thank you for tuning in. Let's begin by taking a look at Volusia County real estate statistics as of the end of April 2024. Then we're going to go city by city throughout the county. Finally, we're going to look at an interesting fact about 30-year mortgage rates and address that, marry the house and date the rate advice that's been making the rounds in the past few months. My purpose here today is to help educate you with some real information about our local market and not clickbait you with scary attention-grabbing headlines. Please feel free to post your comments or questions below, and remember to please like this video and subscribe to our channel for updates and information about the local real estate market and buying or selling homes in general. My wife Cindy and I have been helping folks do that since 1995, and we think it's about time we helped you too. Also, feel free to call or text me at the number you see on the screen. I'll get back to you promptly. I know that whether you are thinking of buying or selling a home, you will find the sales data very useful. I want to say this up front that this data is as of the end of April and is for single family homes in their respective locales, except where otherwise noted. Now, where we're looking to help price your home in a specific neighborhood, we would dive even deeper and pull only that neighborhood's data. But for our purposes here today, we're going to take a broad overview again, first of the county as a whole. Then we're going to move city by city throughout the county. So let's begin our journey by taking a big picture view of Volusia County. In the entirety of Volusia County in April, sales were up about 3% from a year ago, and the median sales price came in right at $355,000, which was up 2.2% from last April. Now, the number of homes currently active on the market is up 67% from last year. This continues to help buyers who are entering the market by giving them a great opportunity to negotiate, as it is not nearly as competitive as it was a year or two ago. There are 3.7 months of inventory on the market, and what that means is that given the current pace of sales and inventory, if no other homes came on the market, then all of that existing inventory would be gone in 3.7 months. Now, if you've ever heard the term seller's market or buyer's market, that's usually based on that metric. A seller's market is generally agreed to be 4 months or less, with a buyer's market being about 5 or more months of inventory available. So right now we find ourselves getting close to a balanced market. In fact, new listings last month were up 28% from a year ago, while pending sales, that is homes that went under contract for purchase, were down almost 15% from a year ago. Now, while Florida doesn't have much of a selling season, as areas up north do, May to August typically is the best time to sell a home. Many families are wanting to relocate within the city even at that time, and they want to get settled before school begins. So, all right, well, let's say you're putting your house up for sale. How long does it take to sell right now in Volusia County? Well, the median time to sell a home is about 72 days, which is down slightly from last month, but up slightly from this time last year. So now let's begin our city-by-city tour by looking at our Volusia seat here, our county seat in Volusia. It's the beautiful city of Deland. Now in Deland, we see that there were 74 closed sales for the month, and that's up a robust 17% from a year ago. The median sales price of a home in Deland is $382,500, and that's up slightly from last year. The number of homes for sale is at 194, which is also up a very robust 54% versus last year. Currently, there's 3 months of inventory on the market in Deland, with the number of new listings coming on the market in April being 76, and that's down about 3% from last year. Pending sales were also down about 4.5% year over year, coming in at 64. Now in Deland, the median time to sell a home from the first day of listing it for sale is 73 days, and that's up 12.3% from last year. Heading over to East Volusia, let's check out Ormond Beach. There, 59 homes were sold during the month of April, and that number of home sales is up 37% from a year ago, while the median sales price of $405,000 is just about the same as last year. There are 189 homes for sale, and that's up 72% from a year ago. And there's 4.1 months of inventory for sale. 97 homes came new on the market during April, and that's up 31% from a year ago. And yet only 59 homes went under contract, and that's down 28% from April 2023. Now in Ormond Beach, it's taking 59 days on average to sell a home, up slightly from last year. So in a nutshell, so far what these statistics are telling me is that prices are stable, activity is brisk, yet inventory is climbing higher. Now let's keep heading south from Ormond Beach to Daytona Beach. And checking out activity in Daytona Beach, we find that 71 homes were sold during April. That's exactly no change from a year ago. The median sales price for a home in Daytona Beach is at $345,000. Now that's up only 2.2% from last year. There are 367 active homes on the market, and that's 82% more than were for sale last year. The month supply of inventory came in at 5.5 months, and that's 3 full months more than it was a year ago. There were 117 new listings that came on the market during April. That's also up 23% from a year ago, and only 64 homes went under contract for the month. That's down from 22% last year. Big swings in opposite directions there. In Daytona Beach, the days on market are now at 91, which is up a rather large 28% versus a year ago. Now, a little south of Daytona is the lovely city of Port Orange. Now, in Port Orange, there were 71 sales of single-family homes, which is up 18% from a year ago. The median sales price came in at $368,000. That's about the same as this time last year. Currently, there are 206 homes on the market, and that's up an incredible 70% from the same time last year. Buyers, did you see that? The month supply of inventory is at 3.6 months versus 2.1 months at the same time last year. 79 homes came on the market in Port Orange last month, and 62 went under contract. Now, the new listings were exactly the same as last year, but the pending sales are down 23% for the same time period. Now, in Port Orange, the median time to sell is taking about 62 days from when it goes active on the market to being closed and sold. That's down almost 9% from a year ago. Okay, now for New Smyrna Beach, which I've broken up into 3 parts: mainland New Smyrna Beach beachside single-family homes, and New Smyrna beachside condos and townhomes. That's a pretty distinct market from single-family homes on the beachside. Let's go ahead and start with the beachside in New Smyrna Beach, and let's start with single-family homes there. Okay, on beachside New Smyrna, we see that there are 18 sales, which is up 29% from last year. And granted, this is an extremely small sample size. The differences may appear to be quite dramatic. But what you want to know is on the beachside, the median sales price is $802,500, and that's down 3.9% from last year. Active inventory is up 68% with 108 homes on the market. Now, at the current pace of sales, there's 7.5 months supply of inventory. New listings are up 22% from a year ago, with 28 homes coming on the market. 17 homes went under contract in April. That's 11% less than this time last year. Now, on the beach side, it's taking almost 100 days to sell a home, and that's up 36% from year ago levels. Now, moving on to condo and townhome sales statistics for beachside New Smyrna, we find that it showed a 12% increase from a year ago, with the median sales price being $525,000. Now, that's up 12% from April of last year, and look at that active inventory coming in at 245 units for sale. That's up over 100% from last year, while the month supply of inventory has ballooned to almost 10 months worth from only 3.6 months last year. Sellers, please take note. New listings for the month increased 26% from last year, and pending sales dipped 16% from last year. Sellers, take note, please. I'm going to explain why shortly. Now, the good news for April for this area is that the median time for sale for condos and townhomes show them being 84 days, which is actually down over 15% from last year. All right, let's move off the beach. Let's take a look at mainland New Smyrna. There was 81 sales for the month, and that's up 14% from a year ago. The median sales price came in at $384,990, so that's actually down 8% from April of last year. Inventory increased here as well by 79% from year ago levels, with 244 homes on the market currently. This is giving us 4.4 months of supply. Like other areas in the county, new listings for the month are up 88% from last year. However, new pending sales were also up 39% from last year. So how long is it going to take you to sell your new Smyrna Beach home? Right now, it's taking about 86 days, and that's up almost 18% from a year ago. Now, 86 days isn't quite 3 months. I know it may feel like a lifetime, though, when it's your house on the market. Last, but certainly not least, let's take a look at Edgewater, Florida. Like other cities in Volusia County, Edgewater sales are up slightly from last year by 2%, while its median price is $332,000, and that's up 3.1% from last year. Their active inventory is up 54% from a year ago, and their month supply of inventory is still under 3 months. New listings are up moderately at 6.8%, yet pending sales declined a rather large 30% from a year ago levels. Now in Edgewater, it's taking 83 days to get your home closed from the time of listing, and that's actually down 22.4% from the same time last year. All right, you hung in there with me. Thank you. I told you at the beginning we would look at interest rates, and those truly are what drive the market. I just want to touch on one theme as we looked at all of this data. And whether you're selling or buying, I know you're going to find this critical. With only 2 very minor exceptions, we're finding a consistent theme of increasing new listings and total active listings while a decrease in pending sales. Again, pretty much across the board. Now let's look at one other quick snapshot of market data taken from the local MLS system, which covers all of Central Florida, not just Volusia County. And what stands out the most to you? Price reductions. Price reductions. And it tells me we need to be much more careful with the listing price we first offer to the market. Once a property has been on the market for more than 14 to 30 days, it's getting stale, and buyers notice. Look at any public-facing portal, and they have this data for buyers: how long it's been on the market, price reductions from original list. So it's vital that if you want to get top dollar for your home, price it right the first time so you don't end up here. Listen, I know what I just said may not be popular. It may not be what you want to hear, but my job is to educate you about the real market, not the fantasy market. If you want to sell, if you really want to sell, and you want an agent who will give it to you straight, give us a call or text. Let's talk. All right, now let's look at interest rates. And the popular phrase, marry the house and date the rate. Sounds reassuring, right? I mean, it's what you want to hear so you can feel warm and fuzzy as you choke down that monthly payment without barfing. Now, here's the truth. No one knows what the future holds. And to tell you rates will come down soon could be setting you up for failure. And I, for one, will never do that with one of my customers. Rates might come down later this year. Rates might not come down later this year. If you're my customer, I want to make sure that you are comfortable with whatever monthly payment you end up with at the closing table for the foreseeable future, regardless of what happens with rates. Just because you're approved for an amount doesn't mean you can afford that amount. Make sure your budget can handle not only the monthly payment, but the maintenance and upkeep as well, for as far into the future as you can project. Now hear me, I'm not saying not to buy a house now. What I am saying is that don't rely on rates going lower soon, although they might. And here's why. Let's go way back in time to the 1970s and 1980s. I know. Many of you watching right now might not have even been born then. I have a little bit of mileage on you and was just coming of age during those times. So what if it was 1978 and someone gave you the advice to marry the house but date the rate? Or worse yet, what if you said, you know what? I'm going to wait until interest rates come down before I buy a house. We'll rent until then. Let's see how this played out. In January 1978, the 30-year mortgage rate was 9.03%. How are you feeling about 7% now? Anyways, if you had waited until rates returned to that number before you bought a house, you would have waited over 9 years for just the same rate. I mean, forget about buying and refinancing because 9 years later, it was the same rate. So refinance is out of the question. So now we waited that entire time to buy a house, waiting for rates to come down. And what happened there? The median price of a home in January 1978 was $53,000 with a monthly payment at 9.03% of $428. Now, waiting until rates come down, or in this case, back down to the same rate, you now would buy that same house for a price of $97,900 with a monthly payment of $790. That's an increase in both cases of 85% while you waited. Now, I realize this may have been a unique time in history, but aren't most times in history unique? In no way am I saying interest rates are going to shoot up like they did then or inflation's going to go crazy. But could they? Who knows? My point is that I hope I've made don't play marry the house and date the rate. It's a dangerous game. Be confident in your finances that you can manage the payment for the long term. Also, don't wait for the right time. We'll never know when the right time is at that time. Now, we'll know it was the right time 6 or 12 months out in hindsight, but by then it'll be too late. Real estate is the long game. You want time in the market, not trying to time the market. Don't continue to throw your money away on rent. Start building equity for you and your family today. So where are interest rates right now? As of the time of this recording, they are just about 7% after starting the year out a little bit lower, yet down considerably from the October 2023's recent highs. So there you have it. I warned you this wasn't going to be a 30-second cat video. This is some real information for serious people wanting to know what's really going on right here in our little corner of the world. And what a great place it is to live, right? I'm Michael George. Thank you for watching. If you're thinking of buying or selling real estate, either now or in the near future, my wife Cindy and I would love to speak with you. We've been helping people since 1995. Isn't it time we helped you? Thank you so much for watching to the end. Again, please like and subscribe. Thank you very much, and God bless you and your loved ones. Take care.